All right. Thank you for tuning in to Luminary Leaders Live. And happy Friday, Good Friday, that is, for a lot of you. We want to thank you for joining us. And today I have an amazing guest, someone that I've met a few years ago, and she is just phenomenal. In fact, you're going to learn some tips today, too, if you're doing any kind of live or just anything media driven. You're going to learn from my guest today. And just a little bit about myself. So I'm Shelly Harrison, CEO and founder of Luminary Leaders, and we are a speaker management and consulting company. And we have clients that we represent across the globe, including Clarissa Burt, who you're going to meet today. So without further ado, I want to introduce Clarissa Burt. She is the CEO and founder of In the Limelight Media, and also a multimedia producer. You're going to hear about things that she's doing some amazing things, and her background. So she is a former supermodel and was in Italy for many, many years. And she graced the covers of Cosmopolitan, Bazaar, and some of the, just amazing work. And she's also been in some movies that you've heard about. So Clarissa, welcome to Luminary Leaders Live.
Thank you so much. Well, here we are. I am really excited to tell you a few little of my secrets, but I'm going to wait until you ask me.
Yes, and we'll get to those secrets. And one that I found out today that hopefully a lot of people can benefit, especially if you wear glasses.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Clarissa, I would really love for you to tell our audience, you've got so many different things that you're doing. And I could brag about you all day long. Tell us about just some of the things that you have going right now within the Limelight. And then we're also going to talk about an exciting thing that's coming up and launching in November. So tell us a little bit about In the Limelight.
So In the Limelight Media is something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. It's a multimedia platform, and it consists of video, a podcast, and a digital magazine. The digital magazine is a quarterly. So if it had been a monthly, I'd be dead by now. But because the magazine is really a lot of work, but
it's gorgeous. It's a beautiful magazine.
Thank you. Well, I'll show you the cover.
Yeah, let's see the cover. That is gorgeous.
Thank you. It's In the Limelight with Clarissa, intelligent media for the savvy entrepreneur. And we have Lady Carnarvon on the cover. So for all the Downton Abbey fans, Lady Carnarvon and her husband.
I know who she is.
They own Highclere Castle. So Highclere Castle being Downton Abbey. And she was a lovely interview, a lovely lady. And she's very entrepreneurial, which was, something that was very important for me. All of my covers are entrepreneurs. So, on a global scale. So she was really perfect for that. And they have just come out with something called Highclere Castle Gin. So when the PR release came across my desk, I thought that it would be just a really perfect opportunity to jump on. And I'm thrilled that I did. So the magazine, again, is a quarterly, and then we have the videos that go out live, much like you're doing. I do to 6 different platforms when I go out. Then we put them on YouTube, and then we repurpose them over on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and another 100 smart TV apps. So really excited about getting back into my first love, which is television, which I did for 20 years in Italy on live television, basically. So I was weak on live television. That's how I used to throw you on stage and you learn as you go.
I know. And actually, well, I went to your website again, because I've been there multiple times, but I went there again just to kind of refresh my memory. And I'm like, I saw so much media. And I know what inspires you to do what you do today. As far as the kind of winding back the clock a little bit, tell us when, and this is after you left Italy, because I know you were there for quite a while with your career. Yeah. And how awesome is that? Italian food, and, the Italian people are so friendly. I'm Italian, so I can say that. But after that, what inspired you to kind of take the direction that you've taken right now within the Limelight?
I was Mary Poppins in the kindergarten play. You give me a microphone and I'm good to go. It's just one of those things I have to do. They told me that I was vaccinated with a phonograph needle. So I just have to talk. And I love talking. I love interviewing people. I love I was in about 18 different movies. And I just didn't get the same high and the same kick from being on a movie set that I do from being on a live television set. And so I just absolutely love the medium. I love media. I love interviewing people. I love bringing to the forefront their products and their services, especially for solopreneurs and entrepreneurs. And I've created in the Limelight Media for those that either don't have the know-with-all, the wherewithal, the time, the resource. I just made it so that they get 7 different touches straight across the board with one 20-minute interview with me. And that really, I think I found the pain point that was, one and done, and I take care of the rest. And the return on the investment is really tenfold. And it's guaranteed. There's no guessing with, I'm going to give you a bunch of money and where is it going to be spent? You're going to see exactly where it's spent. And I love my community as well, because they all share one with another. So.
Yeah. Well, we have a comment here when we were talking about the magazine, and still kind of talking about the magazine. Kate Trotman, who does excursions to Africa, she says, sounds like a great magazine. And Kay, it is. You've got to check it out. It's a beautiful magazine. And, Clarissa, you kind of talked about, as far as the magazine, how can people get involved in advertising in the magazine?
Absolutely. All they have to do is just contact me. You can go to, actually, I'd like for you to go see the magazine first. I think that would be the greatest thing. One of the first things that you can do, we're now on pressreader.com, and pressreader.com is the largest news aggregator, or let's say publication aggregator in the world. So the idea that, we're right up there with all of the, the most important women's magazines in the world is really special. Or you can go over to Clarissa Burt, just go to clarissaburt.com under magazines, and you can see it there. So you get the idea of the quality of the magazine, the quality of all the original articles that are written. It's all original content. We have anywhere from about 20 to 22 articles every 3 months, every issue. Quarterly. Our next drop is going to be on June 1st, which would make it an April. I think we have an April 15th deadline with a little bit of wiggle room. My executive editor, Mary Holden, is absolutely world class. So we have an executive editor. I have an assistant executive editor now. And so the magazine continues to grow, and really, because it's caught its voice, and it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun and really exciting. So for me, media, as we were talking, just for me, it was media, and I was in media long before anybody had a smartphone. I just wanted to, I just want to be clear. I would, but yeah, I just love it. So.
It is fun. I mean, you're much more absorbed in it, where, you've got this multimedia foundation that you've created. And even in the magazine, I have to give you a shout out, because I know Luminary Leaders, our company, has been advertising in your magazine, and it is so well worth it. I mean, it is such a beautiful layout, very high level organizations, companies, and it just is really that good, or that great, I should say.
Thank you. We're proud. We're very proud of it. We're really proud of it.
Yeah, you should be. Definitely should be. And I know you also have another exciting opportunity that's already come through fruition and launches in November. Can you share a little bit about that?
Well, the other thing that I've been wanting to do for the last 10 years, and I have to say, if there was a silver lining in COVID, it was the, staying home and the no more bright shiny object syndrome, which was really what I think I needed. I'm sorry for anybody that got sick, but certainly for me, it kept me home and it kept me focused. And I was able to be in the front of the computer, really, Shelley. I mean, anywhere from 14, 15 hours a day, every day, even weekends, just to be able to pull my business together and to get the whole project done.
Yeah, getting in that creative mode.
Yeah. Absolutely. So the book is called The SelfEsteem Regime, and it's a way of, I really feel strongly about, women's empowerment, and the word empowerment is overused, but I think it's one of the best words for the moment, so that they can have a way to, an organized way of approaching self-esteem, self-awareness, confidence, feeling really good about who they are and what they're doing. And I think it also comes in the wake of the Me Too movement, which was really, really a strong movement for women and girls. And and it sounds people go, ugh, self-esteem. It's just a 1960s catchphrase. Well, it's really not. It's really not. It's so much more than that. And if you don't have your self-esteem in check, by the time when you wake up in the morning, you're going to have, difficulties with the relationship with yourself and certainly with others. And I think everybody can kind of relate with that. So one of the first things we do is, don't compare yourself to anybody else. The second thing I really am strong about is very strong boundaries. It's that important. Another one for me, and this takes a little on a tangent, but if it hurts, it's not love. And so I'm also an ambassador for domesticshelters.org, and we put out a PSA here live every 2 weeks, not every 2 weeks. And just to make sure that we keep the message out there that there's always a plan, there's always an escape plan, and there are places to go, that people with open arms are, ready to take you in. So self-esteem has some thing to do with that as well. And I don't think that women should be in pain. I am very passionate about the position and condition of women. So there you go. That's awesome. Yeah, it's really cool.
That's awesome, Clarissa. And I know you do those, those PSAs, the public service announcements, and, bringing domestic violence to the forefront and making sure that women have those resources and know that they're not alone. I think that's, and I've watched a few of those because, we've had that in our family, and it's something that it scars you for life.
It does scar you for life. There's a lot of PSTD, even for those that are not they're not directly affected but indirectly affected. And so and too many women, I say women, we have to say people that are abused.
Men are
really about 95% of them are women. And so with that having, been said, it's just really important. There are too many women that are dying at the hands of their abuser. And so, we do whatever we can. I love domesticshelters.org. The work that they do is incredible. Phenomenal newsletter they put out all the time. And so the information is there. There is a blueprint. There's a plan. There are people on the other side of an 800 number. There are shelters waiting for you. So that's really important to me too.
Yeah. And we'll make sure that we put that in the show notes too. I'll go back and make sure that the links are there because again, I appreciate you bringing that up, and, and I know that you do great work there. For you, Clarissa, you've had this, amazing background where, being a supermodel, being in, the movies and all the work that you've accomplished up to this time. Yeah. What's next for you? You've got this empire that you're building within the Limelight, but what's next for you?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. And so I want my network now. So right now I have a channel on an existing network and it's fine, but I want my own network. So I'm moving toward that end. It's called the Women's Global Network. And we are going to start selling channels to people that want their own channel, and that they can pull together all of the shows they want for their channel. That's really important to me. I'd like to be able to get to the point where I could bump up the magazine to be every 2 months instead of 3, so getting even more information out there. And then as far as my being on television, I'd like to be back into a proper production studio. I'm meeting with some people here tomorrow for that. So I know, I'm really thrilled, because I absolutely love what I do. I wish I had 10 people in my office. Wish I had a lot more help.
You do a lot. You're so efficient. You get things done, and you have that expertise to be able to be multitasking. But I know, like, for example, if you were to do the magazine every two months, what would it take to do that?
Well, I would hand it off. I would have to start handing it off. And so there would be different divisions, and the different divisions would be, there's the print division, then there's the video division, then we have, the podcast division is different, because then, each one of them would have different, could have the same or have different advertisers as well. So I would like to have somebody head up each one of those divisions. And then I have a social media and a news release and press release division. So if I could, I'd break it down into 4 and just start handing it off to project managers to take it from there. And then I could just be, sit on my little tuffet like Miss Muffet and
I love that. I just had that visual.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to buy a tiara or something. I'm not quite sure, but
You should. Don't you already have one?
no, I don't.
With
I don't.
diamonds.
No, it's funny you should say that because I don't know if you can see the picture behind me here. Where is it?
Oh, yes. Yep. I can.
There's a lovely lady here in town that started up a pageant for older women, and she asked me to be her, what they call emeritus queen. And I said, look, Linda, I'm happy to help you. I love you to death, and I love the work you do. I said, but I will never put that crown on my head. I just can't because I didn't do anything to earn it. It's a gift. So I'm going to hold it. And it's beholden for the next girl, the girl that actually wins, and I'll put it on her head. But and I used to run the Miss. I don't know if you can see over here. Is that it?
Oh,
right
yeah.
there?
Yeah.
I used to run, the Miss. Yeah, I used to run the Miss Universe pageant. So when I lived in Italy, so they were the 3-hour live broadcasts in prime time television. That was a whole different kind of production.
Prime time television. Wow. Yeah. So you do have the experience. And actually, so Safari K says ambitious goals, but sounds like a winner. How exciting. I'm definitely going to follow you. Magazines, I've learned to take a lot of work and time. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they definitely do.
They really are. But I'm really thrilled with her. She's beautiful. The magazine it's a beautiful read, and we have the flip book, and it's just really a beautiful read. We're thrilled with it. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Anything that you do is really classy and top notch. And that's what I've really appreciated, Clarissa, with you, because you walk the talk. And, I know you have kept me on my toes for things that we've talked about. And I'm like, oh yeah, I've got to make sure I get that done. Right. Where I value that, because that's something that I think as women, we have so many things and projects that we're working on. And sometimes we need, our mentors, we need the women that champion us to keep us, in check and keep things moving and going and shifting.
You're very kind. But I do want to tell everybody about our glasses trick. Want to do it?
Yes, let's do that. We have you have a couple of tricks.
When you're in front of a camera like this, whether you are interviewing or you're being interviewed, you can see there's a lot of glare in my glasses right now. It's really a lot, and it's coming mostly from the computer monitor. So, and it's annoying. It's annoying for people. So if you watch what I do when I dim my monitor light. Watch.
Yep. Look at that. What a difference. Now you can see your eyes.
I can still see you. I see my screen. I see everything on it, but I have dimmed the light so that a lot of that now, if I move up, you can see my other two lights right above.
Oh yeah, you've got your.
If I keep it at eye level, if I keep it there, then there's your little trick. I think that's really
a great trick. Yes, that's a great tip. And then there's another one too. This is for the ladies. So can you share? And we were just chatting about this before we got on the live.
What was that? The eyebrows?
The eyebrows.
Okay. Some people have, light eyebrows or thinning eyebrows. And so one of the things that might have been thinning for some time now. So I dye my eyebrows, and a lot of people know about it, but it is one of those things that I love to do. And you go to, if I had known this, I would have brought the box, but it's that hair, it's the mustache hair dye for guys. So when you go to the hair color section, there's a little hair, I don't know even the company, but you'll see that there are, like mustache dyeing kits for men. Well, that's a much lighter concentration. So it's better for your eyebrows, or you can use hair color, but only put it on for like 2-3 minutes. Don't leave it on or you won't have any eyebrows left. So just make them a little darker, especially because it really helps to frame the face. And again, especially if you're wearing glasses, it just really helps to delineate between your brow and the eyeglass.
Yes. Absolutely. And again, Safari K says, wow, what a difference.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
So, those are great tips, Clarissa. And, is there anything, because I know we're coming to the end of our broadcast here, is there anything that you want to share with our audience that is just like one of those things that you just want them to know?
Yeah. You're only as beautiful as your last good deed. So go out and do something good for somebody today. And, I said it before and I'll say it again. Remember that if it hurts, it isn't love. And I mean that obviously in more than ways than one. It's a physical way. It's a mental way. It's an emotional way. So just be really mindful about that. And you deserve the absolute, it's your birthright to be loved. So be
Yeah.
loved and be loving. Be
Yes,
loved and be loving.
and I would love for you just to touch on this, because I think, with the domestic violence, that the public service announcements that that you put out there, where can people find those when you're doing those
Yeah,
when
you
you're
go to
doing
In the
those?
Limelight on YouTube. Go to well, you can
Okay.
see some of the past ones on Binge, on In the Limelight TV on Binge Networks, or you can see them on YouTube. Just go to In the Limelight on YouTube, and you'll see my lives are there. And it was really a great year to start doing that, especially because of the year of COVID, when a lot of the
Yeah.
abusers were at home with the abusees, and so there was such a spike in a
Yeah.
domestic violence. And so we talked about many of the different ways, all the different ramifications, financial abuse, the different manipulative efforts, what to do if you know of someone that's being abused, all this, the legal ramifications, again, financial ramifications. There's so much to it. And it's hard to get out when you have children. It's a little bit more difficult. So, just how to navigate all of that. And again, over at domesticshelters.org, just, again, they have so much over there for you to be able to, start you can start an exit strategy now. You can
That's
start your
right.
exit plan now.
Yeah. And that exit plan that is so
Yeah.
key,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing, Clarissa. I mean,
Yeah.
that
Cool.
we've gotten a lot covered today, and I appreciate that. And
No, thank you so
yeah,
much.
and I know we can talk for so much longer. And
Yeah.
again, our broadcast, we try and keep this 20 minutes or less, but you just gave so much great information that I didn't want to stop.
All right.
So anyway, thank you so much for being here today, Clarissa. And to our followers, subscribers, make sure you check out Luminary Leaders Speaker Central on YouTube, where you can get this broadcast and all the other broadcasts that we do. We'd love to connect with you. And also important, make sure you connect with Clarissa. So go to In the Limelight. We've got the website at the bottom there. Take a screenshot or watch it again. But anyway, you definitely want to connect with Clarissa. She's got some wonderful things going. And make sure you watch for her book that's coming out in November. That's going to be a phenomenal book. And again, everyone, thank you so much for being here, and have a wonderful holiday this
Bye,
Sunday.
everybody.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye, Clarissa.
Bye.